Hey gamers, Gecko here. That was a longer pause than usual. You can tell I'm a bit nervous to make this one. As you may know, at the start of the year, I made a video where I basically went over what my plans were for the year, like the goals that I wanted to do and everything I wanted to get done. And I also said in that video that I wanted to fail. I wanted to go for these and I wanted to hit them really hard and just fuck it up. Just completely fuck it up. The mentality was basically I'd rather try and fail than do what I was doing and just fail by default. Like, at least if I try, I might get something out of it. That was the general idea. So how did we do? What happened? Well, I haven't gone back and watched the video because I worried it might make me cringe a little bit. I don't like watching old recordings of myself. I don't even watch, like, my old Gecko Scroll videos. They make me, like, ugh. I don't mean old as in, like, years ago when, yeah, I probably would be a bit cringed out about it. I mean, like, the last video I made. I mean, like, the 2.0 video. Bro has no idea what he's talking about, you know? But I do have the list up of everything that I said, and it's quite weird looking back on it and seeing what I wanted. There's, like, I want to say 4-ish sections that can really be divided into this, with a 5th smaller one at the end, which I'll actually touch on a little bit more this time, because I didn't really talk about it in that video if I remember correctly. But they are the main channel, this channel, Twitch, Final Fantasy, and, like, personal things. Things to do with me. Not Gecko Squirrel, but Nathan, you know. So let's start with the main one. The main channel. Gecko Squirrel as a YouTube channel kind of nearly died this year. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. For the majority of the year, it was pretty much on life support. Basically only being kept alive by Guilty Gear characters releasing. Venom obviously came out late, so we went into the new year with a little bit of a drought. But the only thing that kept the channel afloat was the We Need to Talk About videos. And that wasn't good, because I'm not sure if you know, it's been about, like, 6 months since Lucy. Like, it's been a bit. It's been a while. Okay, well, it's more like 5 months. But, like, it's been a bit. And everything between those, there wasn't really much happening on the channel. Every video that came out just kind of did worse than the last one, to the point where I was getting less than 10,000 views on a video, and that became an achievement. If a video got 10,000 views in a relatively short time, that was good. That was an achievement. There was obviously, like, you know, some things throughout the year where I made the Why Fighting Games Suck Right Now video, which rage baited enough people that, you know, it carried me through a tiny bit of a drought. But the majority of things that came out on the channel weren't good. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it's anyone else's fault. The quality on the main channel kind of sucked. It was kind of bad. I essentially found myself in this situation where I was like, I'm gonna give myself 2 weeks. But then I would either be working on other stuff, or, like, putting out fires, or being upset with whatever shit was going on in my life, that I didn't realize that the time would come for a new main channel video, and I would cram it out in the same amount of time that I was doing before. So, essentially, we had the same quality that we did last year, but it was now longer spaced apart. This all really came to a head with the Star-Lord guide, which was basically like a second channel video that I just essentially put on the main channel, because I was like, there needs to be something out, and it bombed. It did terrible, rightly so. It was bad. It's a really bad guide. It's really, really bad. Honestly, probably one of the worst videos I've ever made, and I hate it. But it was a breaking point. It was a bit where I was like, I can't keep making this kind of shit forever. Like, I can't just keep doing this. At some point, I'm gonna have to really give it a shot. And I decided to do that on the next video. I was like, you know what? I I'm sick of making garbage. I'm gonna try and make something really cool. And I don't care when it comes out. It will come out when it comes out. And that was the Season 4 Sucks video, which is a really weird video to be like, I'm gonna do as much as I can. Because the topic is very, like, time-relevant stuff that I wanted to avoid in the year. But I was still like, fuck it. If I can make this video good, interesting, and fun, and still enjoyable enough to be relevant in the future, then I can do anything. And that was the idea. And it did well. It did super well. It did amazingly well. I'm really happy with how that video did. I still like that video. I think it's good. Like I said, I don't like watching videos about after a week after they're done, but like I think that video's sick. It was a lot of stuff that I just experimented with. Things in DaVinci that I've never really used before. I was like, fuck it, throw it in. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it looks. It was the first time in a very long time that I've made a DaVinci project chug. And I was like, holy shit, I'm doing it. The feeling wasn't, oh my god, I'm going too far. The feeling was, holy shit, I'm back. I'm back. I'm doing it again. Obviously, when I used to use Vegas, I would make shit chug constantly because I was on a worse PC. But like having to fight against my editing software again felt really good. It wasn't all like downs. I did really try on the getting good at Guilty Gear video, but I do think there is a noticeable spark missing in that video. I think even watching it back, I'm like, the passion isn't quite there. The fire isn't quite there. Which is like, you know, on theme for the video. Artistically, think it's a very good choice. But as like a piece of entertainment that's just kind of on its own, yeah, no, it's definitely missing something. I will finish it at some point next year. I've just had to really reevaluate what I think about the main channel and what I want to do with it. I will say, the last 2 videos, I'm super proud with. I'm super happy with. I think I'm getting more to the point where I'm interested in doing goofy, silly shit that's based-ish around the topic I'm talking about, but can be enough out of left field that it still doesn't really tie into anything. Like, obviously, the joke needs to still be relevant to the video. I shouldn't just do, like, Family Guy cutaway bits. But I'm more interested in being entertaining. I was gonna say funny, but I'm not really that funny. I'm more interested in being entertaining, telling good stories, telling fun things that happened. And the next video, I think, is gonna be more relevant to that. Basically, the next video is gonna be about, like, Burst. And I'm just sort of gonna go through a bunch of the old Guilty Gear games, Blaze Blue, and all that kind of stuff, and just find ways to make jokes about the evolution of Burst. It's gonna be less documentary and more cadaverous. I think that's gonna be the goal. That's gonna be the idea. But now, currently, I am happier with the state of the main channel. I think I've found a style of work that I like to do. I still might need to reevaluate the time frame. I tried to make that 2.0 video in a week, and I was just editing too much in a short span of time. So I might need to rejig how often a video comes out and what the topic's about and stuff like that. The channel's not at the ultimate goal yet, where I can kind of just post when it's done, which is the idea that I want to get to eventually, but baby steps. I think I might have finally made it so that the 2-week model will work, as long as I keep that quality up. I did eventually get there. Very on brand for me. At the last possible moment, I finally get to the goal that I wanted to get to, where the main channel videos have a valid reason to be every other week, while also being at a high quality that I like. Fortunately, didn't hit 100k subs. Not even close. Honestly, don't blame myself for that one. The quality was not there for me to hit that, and that's completely fine. I want to say next year, I've done the maths. It's possible, but tight. I will essentially have to find a way to ride a wave so that I get enough of a boost to make it. Right now, the plan is 2.0. That's probably going to be the wave. I've come to terms with the fact that I am one of the more prominent voices in the gear scene. So 2.0 being a boost is just kind of natural. It's just a thing where I'm like, yeah, I could probably ride that wave out. But who knows? I'm still going to try and be loose and fun with it. I'll see where the wind takes me. Because I know where I don't want the wind to take me. I don't want the wind to take me to Deadlock stuff. People have been asking if I'm ever going to make Deadlock content, and the answer is no. We'll get onto that, though. That's to do with streaming and stuff. Yeah, the goal for the channel next year, trying to hit 100k subs, but most importantly, bi-weekly videos at the current quality scale. If it's feasible, higher quality, less output, but only if it's feasible. I want every video to feel like I'm going all out from my perspective. If I make a video and I'm like, the writing is fire, the editing's on point, the jokes are funny, the length is really good, that's what she said, then I'll be happy. It's more of a vibe-based goal. It's more of a, I like where the channel is at currently at the end of December, and I want it to continue that way. Also, if it can pay my rent, that would be really nice. Second, this channel. Much more positive outlook. Much more positive outlook. In the middle of this year, this channel kept me afloat. This channel, mixed with Twitch, was enough to keep me ticking on and keep it seem like the future is actually bright and actually going to work. Obviously, near the end of the year, this channel faltered a little bit, but that's because of the main channel stuff. That's because of things that kind of needed to happen to make sure the whole ship didn't sink. Again, this channel had a bit of a problem where if Guilty Gear was doing good, the channel was doing good. If Guilty Gear wasn't doing good, the channel kind of suffered a little bit. But I think this channel's diversified enough to be interesting without gear. I'm not just gonna start playing like random games. I'm still gonna stick to fighting games, but with the way that like Kosoges have been going on this channel, I think it has its own separate niche. I think it would be smart for me to continue building on that and keep going with that. And I have a bunch of Kosoges still left to play. Don't think because like there hasn't been a video about a Kosoge in a while that I've stopped. I've basically just been stockpiling them, if I'm entirely honest. I've been waiting for a bit where I have more time to work with. So there's a lot more to come, don't worry. I've been given some by friends that I didn't even know existed. I don't think anyone recommended, which are the most fun ones. Oh my god, we find either absolute gems or rotten filth. And there's like no in between. So, yeah. I'm really happy with how this channel's going. I have more of a schedule in mind for next year than I think I did for this year. So this year, originally I was like, bi-daily. And I blew that out the water. And there was several times where I was doing daily uploads. And it was fucking awesome. I loved it. I felt so productive. I felt so awesome. The only problem is it really started to eat into the main channel. Because I was doing so much work on this channel that I didn't have time to do like the big edits that I wanted to do. And it really affected the main channel stuff. So I need to find a nicer balance. The idea for next year is probably going to be 5 videos a week-ish. 3 of those will be Kosoge, our stuff. 1 of them will be Guilty Gear themed. Probably a Solid EU run, but may also just be like a random bit of Guilty Gear stream I have. Maybe it'll be one of the tutorial kind of things that I do. Another one will be like the sludge kind of videos, like these kind of ones where I'm talking to the camera. Again, this is really loose. This is really just kind of whatever works at the time. Maybe I don't have enough Kosoge videos, and I either fill them with more sludge like this, or we miss a video that week. It's gonna be a vibe-based kind of thing. Maybe something really funny happens on the Twitch, and I turn it into a video, like the Sonic 06 gaming I was doing recently that I still need to finish. Why did I bring it up? It's gonna be more relevant to what's happening on the Twitch, and more relevant to what's happening in the fighting game community. It's gonna be a little bit looser. There's also the, like, review things that I want to do every other Sunday, and I'm still working on that. Don't worry. I found a way to play Killer 7. I'm so pissed that fucking disc didn't work, but it is what it is. I also found my green screen, which is very nice. I lost it, but I find it finally. But 5 videos should be like the minimum. Maybe 4 or 5. That's kind of the minimum I want. I want enough where it's like throughout the week there is stuff. But instead of it being properly throughout the week, there's definitely going to be videos on Saturday and Sunday because people have time off. Like, I'm not gonna not put videos out on the weekend, you know? That's like prime time. But that should be the general idea. I don't really have any like big goals. Like, I don't have any sub goals for next year. I kind of just want to have the channel run its course and see how far it goes. I would say that this channel is a lot more volatile than the main channel, where like things just kind of randomly explode. I guess that's kind of the benefit of doing random games. You'll never know what truly hits until you send it out. And I'm fine to just let it be volatile. Maybe it'll give me a massive boost. Maybe it'll just peter out for a while. Maybe it'll be steady and gradual. We'll see. But I hope that'll be fun. Again, I want to do the bi-weekly review video. It's probably going to be every other week compared to Gecko Squirrel. So like a main channel video will come out, and then in that week break, there'll be the like mini review that I'm doing. I still need to figure out the format. I have an idea of what I want to do. It's basically like, think like Bricky, but with less editing. That's kind of the vibe. Like, I was going to say Kappa Kaiju, but Kappa Kaiju definitely edits his stuff. Green screen white man talking. That's like the vibe that we're going to be going with. We got there eventually. And that leads us nicely onto the Twitch. No complaints. Like, I didn't really have like a lot of stuff planned for the Twitch. It was just sort of grow. And I feel like we've done that. I sort of drifted away from Guilty Gear. I obviously, like, I am mainly a Guilty Gear YouTuber. See the fucking Johnny poster in the background. But I never really wanted to fully be that. I think because Twitch isn't, like, as big of a part of the whole I need to do this as a job, I've been able to just sort of like drift between stuff. Like, the numbers aren't ridiculous or anything like that, but they weren't before, and that's fine. I still definitely get a boost whenever I play Gear, but I'm able to more comfortably play whatever. Like, I did a Final Fantasy stream, and it did decent-ish numbers. I had like 30-somewhat viewers, which I would take on a variety stream. Sonic 06 stream I did, I don't know the actual numbers, but like the chat was engaged enough where it felt like I was doing a really good job. And that's kind of the vibe that I wanted, and it's the vibe that I got. I see Twitch as an absolute success. I think it is partly because of this channel. This channel helps grow the Twitch. Twitch grows, this channel also grows. They're sort of in tandem like that, and I really appreciate it. It's nice. It's really nice having like two things just work together and grow and blossom. Let's go with that. Before I go on to the final two things, I will say the plan this year was to fail, but there was actually a couple of times where it felt like I succeeded above my own expectations, and it was insane. The first one was when Unica came out. I had a plan to sort of like cross-promote everything. So there'd be a main channel video coming out, there'd be second channel stuff coming out on the same day, and there'd also be a Twitch stream. And it happened, and I'd been growing the second channel at that point, and that was the first time where this channel really, like, exploded and did really well. And then, obviously, the main channel video, the Unica one, did super fucking good, which I didn't expect. And that stream that I did on that night, I remember it being a very lively, very fun one to do. That was the first time in a long time where I had a plan for something, and it succeeded immediately and above my expectation. This little stuff like that felt really nice. I wanted to do plans like that, but I was content going into them failing. I didn't plan for them to fail. I didn't ever go into anything this year being like, this is gonna bomb. Because I think just having that, like, negative mentality really doesn't help. It sort of brings in the situation where you think it's gonna fail, so you don't do your best, and because you don't do your best, you're more likely to fail. And then it fails, and suddenly it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. There's small stuff that I think really worked, like the Uma versus Deadlock stuff. Obviously, it was never quite finished, but at the time, it all felt really good and really successful, considering the fact that Uma Mesame and Deadlock are very far away from the stuff I actually play. And it's all been fun, having like a plan going in, trying it, and it just working. That was really nice. Obviously, there were plans that I went in with and they didn't do well, but that was the point of the year. And anytime I went in with a plan and it didn't quite succeed as much as I wanted it to, it was still fun. I was okay with rolling with it. Now, on to the last two. Okay. I said at the start of the year, I wanted to make a Final Fantasy XIV channel. It was going to be called Gwaine Winters. It would be based off of my Final Fantasy character that I love dearly. He's a very dumb cat boy who likes to hit people with a big axe. It never materialized. Now, this doesn't mean I didn't work on stuff throughout the year. I definitely did. The problem I had is that it was constantly starting and then stopping and then starting again and then stopping again. The first time I tried it, I had a big script that I really liked when I wrote it. I recorded all the audio, I started making bits, and as I was editing it, I realized I really don't like this kind of video. Like, I was just not vibing with it. I wasn't liking the jokes I was making. I wasn't liking the voice that I was putting on. Because I was, like, trying to deepen my voice to sound more masculine. And it really didn't work. It sounded like I was trying too hard. And I just gave up on it. And I'd do that, like, a couple of times. I'd come up with an idea for a video, I'd start recording footage, or I'd start recording my voice, and I'd just be like, maybe not actually, and I'd go back. The only exception of this was the newest video that I tried making. I tried making a video on the newest raid tier that came out. The key part was I made it before the raid tier came out. The idea was going to be that I would cash in on the hype of the new raid tier by trying to create a storyline that felt satisfying to finish the Arcadium with. The problem is, I didn't realize how much effort making the kind of content I wanted to in Final Fantasy took. It takes a lot to make the videos look as fun and interesting as I want them to be, to the point where I missed the deadline, and now I'm left with a half-finished video that is not relevant at all. So I've kind of been sent back to the drawing board. I have a way to salvage most of the shots in that video, and I know what kind of video I'm going to make, but I want to start with something a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to make, and get it done. I really want to make FF content, just because I really like the game. Like, Final Fantasy is a really weird one, where when you're really, really, really into it, it's really easy to talk about interesting stuff and make fun jokes. But if you're not, that shit flies over your fucking head. I obviously have some ideas of videos that I want to make that are aimed more at beginners or aimed more at like a casual audience, but the stuff that I really want to talk about probably wouldn't fit on the main channel because it is so not an introduction, which is why I want to make that FF channel, because I want to make it for people who play and enjoy the game. There's things that I have opinions on that I want to fucking talk about. The fun thing is they're not like negative opinions. The general consensus from a lot of people is that the current expansion is bad, and I fucking loved it, and I kind of just want to send that love out into the internet. A lot of the YouTubers I was watching in 14 just kind of stopped making fun content that I liked, so I want to pick that back up. I have an idea for a video. Plan is end of January. Now, I would rather have it done by the first 2 weeks of January, but I'm saying end of January because things are going to be really weird around New Year's, and then there's a raid tier coming out, like, basically right after, so I'm giving myself a little bit more of a buffer room. But we'll see. That's the big goal with an actual deadline. Gwaine Winner's channel should be up, running, and having an actual video on it by the end of January, because I want to get this done. There's no way I'm going to be invited to the media tour if I don't have a fucking YouTube channel! That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Partly. Finally, personal goals. I didn't touch on what my personal goals were in the previous video. I kind of just said they were for me to figure out and to not really tell you guys. But I'm in a sentimental mood. So I'm willing to, like, reveal behind the curtain a little bit. Not all of it, but, like, some of it. One of the goals I had was to, like, get more physically fit, and that didn't happen. I don't, like, count my weight or anything like that. I knew if I, like, had an actual number that was, like, this is the number of your weight, I would go insane. So I don't know, like, how heavy I actually am, but I definitely know that I'm not as physically fit as I was last year. Well, okay, I'm probably about the same, but, like, I'm also aging, and my metabolism probably went down. So next year, I actually want to watch it more. I have, like, a couple of simple ways I'm doing that. I bought a push bike, like a little bicycle. Basically, in, like, September, Raya invited me down to play 2XKO in London. And the only way I could really get around, because the tubes were on strike, was to get an electric bike. And it was terrifying, and I hated it. I was like, I'm not gonna use a push bike ever again. But then I got home, and on the bus home, I realized that there was a protected bicycle lane. And I was like, oh, interesting. I just sort of followed it with my eyes to, like, see where it went. And it went from the city center to basically my front door. And I was like, huh, okay. And I looked into it a little bit more, and I found, like, a cheap bike, and I use it semi-regularly, is what I would say if I didn't break it already. I've done somewhat with it. I need to send it into a repair shop. But, like, that helped with my, like, fitness a little bit. I also want to get into, like, a physical activity. Not like a sport. I'm thinking, like, rock climbing or something like that. Just something that I, like, physically do with my body that isn't just going to the gym. I do like working out, but it's hard for me to, like, motivate myself to do it. But if it's something where I'm basically just dicking about or playing a game, I like it. So I was like, fucking rock climbing, I guess. That's probably gonna change. I mean, I'll let you know probably at the end of next year how that all goes. But I also wanted to pick up, like, non-computer hobbies as well. Most of last year, I spent at this desk looking at this PC to the point where I would not really dread it, but there was a moment of, like, this is just kind of what my life is becoming. And I want to, like, do more stuff. It's hard to do more stuff when you're not rich. Like, really not rich. But I have, like, more things that I want to pick up as hobbies. I'm sort of trying to pick up more older ones that I did. Like, when I was a teenager, I wanted to learn how to play guitar. And I'm picking that back up. I have it. It's off screen. Like, I can show you the guitar. This is the same guitar I had when I was a teenager. And I am about as good at playing it now as I was then. Which is to say, dog shit. This is a threat. I will turn into one of those YouTubers that starts making music, and you can't fucking stop me! I'm basically just doing it for fun. It's nice to just dick about and have something happen. Like, I'm not gonna learn to make my own music, I don't think. It's not really a passion I have. It's also not something I understand. I'm really bad at, like, figuring out how to make a song. But just, like, moving my fingers around on scales and having something sound good to my ear is a rewarding enough experience to me. To the point where I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll probably learn chords and scales and a couple of songs to, like, show off if I really want to. I'm not good, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm good, but it's a hobby. It's just something that I like to do. It's something that, like, after a long day, I can just sit down and do for a little bit. And I've done it several times, and it's actually made me feel better. Like, I feel mentally stronger is probably not the right word, but, like, mentally better after I play a little bit of guitar. To the point where now that I'm holding it, once I'm finished with this recording, I'm gonna get some food and I'm gonna fucking play this. I like my guitar. My guitar's my silly little thing. Yeah, just having things that, like, can get me away from my desk. And that leads on to, like, the penultimate thing that I have written down. I need to treat myself a bit better. Like, I had a moment where I realized that I was so willing to buy people gifts that I just didn't even, like, consider anything else about it. Like, when Christmas came around, one of my friends was like, oh, I really want this game. And without hesitation, I immediately just gave it to them. And part of me was like, that was a a weird investment. And I was like, yeah, but it's a gift though, who cares? And it was the same with like my mom and my dad. I was like, it's Christmas, I want to get them something, and I just bought them stuff. I didn't even think about it. And normally for me, it's like, if I want things, I have to ooh and ah about it. Oh, maybe it's not worth it. Oh, maybe I shouldn't buy that. Oh, maybe I'll need the money later. To be fair, to peek behind the curtain even more, I am broke. This does not pay a lot of money. Like, I am kind of on the cusp of, not survival, but paying my rent. So the idea of, like, maybe I shouldn't buy that because it's a bad investment, it's a genuine thing, I think, sometimes. But it also just, you know, helps. Treating yourself nice doesn't have to be, like, something that you should earn monetarily. It's just something that you should do. And I'm trying to do that, being like, I should have more hobbies. I should have more things that I want to do. And I should, like, you know, if I want something nice, once a month, I should, you know, get it for myself. I did it recently. I got a little haul of stuff today using a bit of the Christmas money I got. And it was really nice. It was really cool. I got a little Gunpla guy. He's been in the background the whole time. I built him today. He's so cute. I don't even fucking watch Gundam. I was just like, I want to build a little Gunpla, and he was the cheapest one there. So I got him. I think stuff like that just makes me feel better. And I think if I feel better, I make better things. And also, more importantly, I'm a better person to be around. The last one is like a little bit of a joke. I put look hot as fuck. And it's a bit of a joke, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to be attractive. I have people several times. There's a couple people in the comment section that do it in basically every single video on this one that tell me I look attractive. And like, I don't necessarily feel it. So I want to improve upon things of myself. I want every bit about me to be attractive, not just my face, like my personality and my motives and the way that I talk to people, stuff like that. I've found that I can snap at people quite quickly in certain circumstances, and there's definitely reasons behind it that I've identified and I'm trying to resolve, but it's not a good look. It's not a fun look. And I want to be good and I want to be fun. So that's something I'm gonna work on. This is really divulged from the original point of the video, I think. So yeah, general goals, main channel, bi-weekly videos, high quality content, TM. Second channel, around 5 videos a week with the bi-weekly review series, which we are getting to. Don't worry, I'm working on it. Twitch, keep doing what I'm doing because I'm doing pretty fucking well, if I'm honest. Final Fantasy channel by the end of January with probably monthly videos, maybe more, probably less, and treat myself better and be a better person. I know, super specific. That's all my general stuff. If you have any goals that you want to do for the next year, please let me know in the comment section below. I really hope that 2025 treat you all well. There's personal things that happened behind the scenes that I definitely don't want to get into. There's a reason the Deadlock video never happened, and I don't really feel comfortable talking about it. But there's a lot of stuff that happened this year that was not good for me, but I'm still here. And I'm personally vowing to make next year better for myself. I hope next year is good for you guys. And I hope this previous year was better for you than it was for me. Treat yourself well. Treat others how you would treat yourself. And if you have anything that you've been sitting on and you're like, ooh, maybe one day I'll do it, do it. Do it next year. Start in January and try to go for as long as you can. I know it's a joke that people make New Year's resolutions and then drop it by the end of January, but seriously, try to keep up. This channel basically didn't start until like May, so just keep at it. Keep trying. I promise you, whatever creative endeavor that you're going for, it will be worth it. And I'm personally cheering you on 100% of the way. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for making this channel what it is. And I'll see you all next year. I'm a fucking loser. The final time of this year. Bye-bye.